Have you ever pondered about what happens to the food that doesn't make it to your plate? It's a question that certainly deserves our attention, and the answer might just astound you. You see, we live in a world that's brimming with abundance, particularly when it comes to food. In fact, our global food production is so prolific that we could technically feed every human on Earth. But here's the catch: not all of this food reaches our plates. The journey of food, from farm to table, is a long and sometimes treacherous one. It involves numerous stages, from planting and harvesting to packaging and transportation. Each of these stages presents opportunities for waste. A blemished apple here, an overripe banana there. It all adds up. In fact, about a third of all food produced globally for human consumption never reaches the consumer. That's approximately 1.3 billion tons of food every year. Let that sink in for a moment. 1.3 billion tons of food, enough to fill millions of grocery carts, simply wasted. This isn't just about the food itself, though. It's also about the resources that go into producing it. Consider the water, the land, the labor, and the energy. All of these inputs are squandered when food is wasted. Moreover, food waste isn't just an economic problem. It's an environmental one too. Wasted food that ends up in landfills decomposes and releases methane, a potent greenhouse gas that contributes to climate change. But perhaps the most staggering fact is this: while we waste a third of our food, nearly 1 billion people around the world go to bed hungry every night. It's a stark contrast that underscores the urgency of addressing this issue. The food waste dilemma is a complex problem that requires our immediate attention. It's a challenge that involves all of us, from farmers and food producers to retailers and consumers. It's a shocking reality that a lot of food never gets to see our dinner tables, but it's also a reality that we have the power to change. And as we delve deeper into this topic, you'll see just how much of a difference we can make. So, where does this food waste occur? It's a great question, and the answer is more intricate than you might initially think. Let's delve into the concept of the food supply chain to understand better. The food supply chain can be seen as a journey that every food item takes before it lands on our plates. This journey begins at the farm where the food is grown and harvested. Now imagine a ripe, juicy apple hanging from a tree, but not every apple gets picked. Some might fall, some might be deemed not good enough and are left behind. This is where the first instance of food waste can occur. Once the apples are picked, they're transported to a storage facility. During transportation, some apples might be bruised or damaged. These damaged goods are often discarded, contributing to the second stage of food waste. At the storage facility, the apples are kept until they're sent to retailers. But here's the catch: apples, like many other fruits and vegetables, have a shelf life. If they're not sold and consumed within that time, they might rot and end up as waste. This is the third stage where food waste can occur. Finally, the journey ends at the retail stores, where the apples are displayed for us to buy. But even here, food waste is a persistent issue. Retailers often discard fruits and vegetables that don't meet aesthetic standards, the ones that are too small, too big, or oddly shaped. What's more, if the food doesn't sell by a certain date, it's often thrown out, marking the final stage of potential food waste in the supply chain. So you see, from the moment a seed is sown to the time the food reaches our tables, there are numerous points where wastage can occur. It's a complex process with multiple points of potential waste. This is why understanding and addressing food waste in the supply chain is so crucial to reducing overall food waste. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. Up next, we'll explore some inspiring solutions to this problem. Stay tuned. It's a complex process with multiple points of potential waste. But what if I told you that some are finding ways to combat this issue? In the heartland of America, there's a farm that serves as an inspiring beacon of hope in our fight against food waste. This isn't your typical farm. It's a place where innovation meets tradition, where the future of farming is being forged today. Let's take a journey to Jones Farm, a place where the concept of reducing food waste has been turned into an awe-inspiring reality. Jones Farm, a family-owned business, has been a pioneer in implementing sustainable practices that significantly reduce food waste in their supply chain. The farm's strategy is simple yet innovative. They've mastered the art of precision farming. By using technology to monitor crop health and predict harvest times, they've reduced overplanting and underharvesting. But they didn't stop there. They've also created a robust partnership with local restaurants and grocery stores. These partnerships ensure that the farm's produce quickly finds its way to the tables of consumers, reducing the time and potential for waste in the transportation process. Jones Farm's approach is a testament to the power of innovation. In just a few short years, they've managed to reduce their food waste by a staggering 70%. That's right, 70%. This is not only a win for the farm but also for the environment, as less food waste means less methane, a potent greenhouse gas, released into the atmosphere. And perhaps most importantly, it's a win for us, the consumers. Because at the end of the day, less waste means more food on our tables, fresher produce in our meals, and a healthier planet for us all. But Jones Farm is just one example. All across the globe, farms and companies are following suit, using technology and innovative practices to reduce food waste and make our food supply chain more sustainable. It's proof that, with the right strategies, we can make a significant difference. And as we move forward, let's remember that each of us has a role to play in this journey towards a more sustainable future. One solution lies in a simple concept: farm to table. Farm to table is more than just a catchy phrase. It's a powerful approach towards reducing food waste and bringing about a sustainable change. It's a concept that celebrates the journey of food from the earth to our plates, reducing as many middlemen as possible. Imagine biting into an apple that was picked from a tree just a few hours ago, or savoring a salad made from vegetables harvested the same day. This is the essence of the farm-to-table movement. By eliminating the need for long-term storage and transportation, the food we consume is not only fresher, but also less likely to end up as waste. Now, let's talk about another significant advantage of this approach: reduced carbon emissions. Traditional food supply chains involve multiple stages of transportation, each contributing to our carbon footprint. Farm-to-table, on the other hand, minimizes these stages, thereby significantly reducing greenhouse gas emissions. But the benefits don't stop there. Farm-to-table also supports local farmers and communities. By sourcing produce directly from local farms, we ensure that more of the money spent on food goes to those who grow it. This helps to strengthen local economies and fosters a sense of community. Moreover, it encourages healthier eating habits. When we're more connected to the source of our food, we're more likely to make mindful choices about what we eat. Indeed, the farm-to-table movement is changing the way we view food. It's about quality over quantity, sustainability over convenience, and community over corporations. It's about taking a stand against food waste and advocating for a healthier, more sustainable world. So the next time you dine out or shop for groceries, consider choosing farm-to-table options. Look for restaurants that source their ingredients locally, or farmers markets where you can buy directly from the growers. Your choices can make a difference in reducing food waste and supporting a sustainable food system. Farm-to-table isn't just a trend, it's a solution to a global problem. Now you might be wondering, how can I help? Well, you'll be pleased to know that every one of us holds the power to affect change. By making small, conscious decisions in our daily lives, we can support the farm-to-table movement and significantly reduce our own contribution to food waste. One of the most impactful ways to support this movement is by shopping locally. When we choose to purchase produce from local farmers and markets, we're not just getting fresher, healthier food. We're also bolstering our local economy, reducing the distance our food travels, and consequently, lessening the carbon emissions associated with its transportation. But what if we took it a step further and started growing our own food? Home gardening, even on a small scale, can make a huge difference. Whether it's a full-fledged vegetable garden in your backyard or a few herb pots on your windowsill, you're contributing to a more sustainable food system. You're also gaining control over what goes into your food, eliminating the need for preservatives and reducing waste from packaging. Now let's talk about consumption. It's easy to overlook, but being mindful of our consumption habits can also lead to significant reductions in food waste. Planning meals ahead of time, serving smaller portions, and storing leftovers properly are simple practices that can help us only buy and prepare what we need. And finally, don't underestimate the power of your voice. Talk about the farm-to-table movement and the issue of food waste. Share your knowledge, your experiences, and your practices with your family, friends, and social networks. Together, we can shine a light on this issue and inspire others to join the movement. Remember, each one of us can make a difference. Our individual actions may seem small, but when combined, they can create a powerful wave of change. Together, we can turn the tide on food waste and create a more sustainable future.